Yeah, I feel like we've even started the conversation before the record button, as you do. But Pelumi, thank you so much for joining me. I
Thank
don't know who is doing the slides, so please help me with the slides. Awesome. Yeah. For I think people know you, Pelumi, but nobody know who I am. So let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Joe Kinvi. I'm one of the founders of Borderless, which is a technology platform, and we have a product called Raise, and that product essentially helps founders across the world raise from their friends and family. But that's not what we hear. We believe that there's so many great founders out there that we should be helping them tell their stories, and that's the entire purpose of this conversation. I just happen to be the lucky one sitting in this chair today, getting to speak to Pelumi, because the purpose of this conversation is to um, get to hear Pelumi's story. I remember when I was watching all the videos online, I was
you.
like, what is she doing? Then and then I started calling your brother. I'm like, yo, like, what is your sister doing? But I think it was such a beautiful thing to watch you take on this journey. But instead of me just jumping around and talking about going in the middle, I love to essentially just give you the mic,
Okay.
and so that you can introduce yourself for people who don't happen to know who you are,
Okay.
and we can take it from there.
Good. So grateful to be here. Thank you so much again for tuning in via joining us. My name is Pelumi Nubi. Full name is Pelumi, which means God is with me. Very much a believer of moving with purpose and moving with intention. I have a background in biomedical science. At one point, I want to pursue uh, um, a PhD in cancer research and human genetics. And then did a massive pivot. I think 2020 was that year where we really had to question what's that thing that really gives us so much joy and passion. So my lab had a major close down, which means I lost 3 years of work, and it was a whole journey to discovering identity and purpose and who I am. And travel has been that thing from a young age. My parents have been lucky to be able to for us to go to different places like the States and everything. And then once I started getting a bit of money in uni, I was that girl. Friday, I'll take the red eye flight, begin Spain, explore over the weekend. Sunday, come back. So that was my thing. I really just enjoyed traveling, new places, new places. So yeah, fast forward to lab closure. I co-founded a travel magazine called The Black Explorer with a friend, because I've always found there's that space in representation, in just mainstream media not showing or telling our stories. And then 2024, I did this audacious thing that put me in the global map, as you can say, which was a solo drive from London to Lagos using this small purple tiny car that's become a symbol of courage. Currently housed in J Rando in Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm that crazy girl. I love it as a compliment. Don't think you offended me if you call me crazy. I'm driven. I'm really all about just putting oneself out there, doing the thing called impossible. I see with resilience and with sheer determination, it can be done. So yeah, that's Pelumi in a nutshell. I goof around and I love a bit of rom-com and good dose of sleep. I don't get that enough nowadays. Building a new brand. But yeah, that's me. I love new adventure, new places. And now creating Lumi, which I guess we'll get into in this conversation, which is my new baby.
I am going to go back to the start.
Okay.
So you've been very adventurous. You're a founder, and from your childhood, like to this solo drive to London, like you've been always trying to do things. My first question is, why did you decide to take this trip
Mm.
as an African brother? Are you crazy? Like what
Like I
the
said, it's the best compliment. I always say crazy is that thing that people call you when you're doing something that they cannot even fathom. Like you are
Mhm.
actually doing that. Like that's a massive compliment to be called crazy. What drew me to that? It was a concussion of things. It was my natural exploration kind of thing. Yes, I know, cross continental travel is another, story. Then in a small purple car through 17 different countries across more than 10,000 kilometers. It was insane. It's not the thing you wake up and just do in a week. There was a lot of research to back it up in terms of, talking to people that have done similar journey. But I was trying to, number one, connect to a place I consider home. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and then I grew up in the UK. But more importantly, I found that lack of representation, there was just not people that looked like me in that overlap space, at least not showcase. If you literally Google right now on Instagram or something, camper van or camper life, is people that don't look like me, that comes up. Doesn't mean we don't do it, but we don't get the spotlight. And literally when brands want to work with creators, that's what they do. They go to search in the search engines, and these are the people they will get the opportunities. So it's just the fact that we don't see that, and that's why I really leverage social media, because I know how powerful it can be to document and share the journey, the ups, the downs, the in between. But it was the lack of representation. It was the fact that, we are in a community society that, box what women can do and told we cannot do certain things. And I was really trying to break that stereotype and, represent the next future. I feel like, representation is so important. Seeing someone that looks like you from the same background as you really changes something in your brain chemistry. So being able to be that for the next generation was very, very important for me. And yeah, it's been a journey since then.
And like, I watched all the videos. I think all of us were on our phones, like, oh my God, where's Pelumi? Like, where is she now? And it was just like, it felt like when I was watching, it felt like I was part of that journey. And I think it's such a beautiful thing, a very audacious thing to watch happening in nearly real time.
Yeah.
So you named the car Lumi, right?
Yes.
And I'm guessing it's after Pelumi, right?
Yes, it's a shortened version. There's Oluwa Pelumi, there's Pelumi, and then there's Lumi. Part of me. A full name is Oluwa Luminate, actually. It's like this weird Yoruba English concoction. God lights my path. But yeah, it was actually voted by the community. I remember, it felt like those, this is so crazy to say out loud, but some parents, when they have the kids, they kind of know what the child will be called. But for me in the journey, I didn't know what to call this vehicle. I knew she needed a name. So I think I voted, and there were like almost 20,000 different things. And Luminate or Lumi just shine bright. She really lights up the room. So yeah, Lumi was easy to remember. It's very short, very easy. And yeah, I just was like, okay, Lumi it is.
Pelumi, you were saying that this
during the journey, Lumi was named.
Okay.
I was in Morocco, so about 4 countries in, we called her Lumi, and she kept being that for the rest of her journey. Interesting.
And then the car now is in the museum, which I saw.
Yeah.
So when I saw the car, I was so excited. Oh my God, that's the car, right? Like, how does it feel to have your car in a museum?
It's wild, especially being a traveler that visits museum quite often. I never thought anything I own would ever be in a museum. Like, it's just not something I even phantom. So it's kind of like a legacy piece. It's right outside J. Randall, one of the busiest museums. I think their recent statistics said it has almost 300,000 foot traffic that visit the museum every year. So that is a lot of people. And I get tagged almost every other day of people say, oh my God, Lumi, this is the car, London to Lagos. So there's a lot of buzz around that. She's a character on her own. I remember even doing London to Lagos. If I didn't post her, I'm like, guys, are you not worried about my own safety? Everyone's like, where's Lumi? Where's Lumi? I'm like, come on. So she really became this, she really came alive with the journey, which was exciting to see. Almost like this underdog that people were rooting for, being so small. Everybody said I needed a 4x4, this big vehicle. But I'm always a big believer of making use of the things you have. Even as a content creator, I always tell people, make use of your phone. You don't need the fancy gadgets and stuff like that. So it was always a principle that was so nice to see it come alive during the London to Lagos journey. And people really tap into that. Like, you know what? I can make use of that small thing, that thing that I feel is not, sufficient. It can't go the distance if you just keep going. So yeah, that's what Lumi does.
I love it. And so Lumi, as a car, was essentially the vessel that you took from London to Lagos.
Yeah.
But it's becoming more, right? And
It is.
when did you realize that this journey can be turned into like a product that can inspire kids and hopefully the next generation?
Joey, honestly, I heard it all during the journey. Oh, Pelumi, this is just 15 minutes of fame. Milk it as quickly as possible. Hit while the rod is hot. Take every opportunity. And that wasn't the mentality I had. I knew the messages I got from London to Lagos. I remember one I always refer to, a 70 years old woman saying, look, Pelumi, I've lived for 70 years and people have told me I couldn't do things. After watching your journey, I start living from today. Like my life has just begun. School teachers saying they ditch their school curriculum, that they're just teaching Pelumi. Like the kids come and they're like, where's Pelumi today? Like, what can she teach us? What are you learning? People living a toxic relationship, was relocating. So London, Lagos was that too. And it was the travel I was used to. But it was really a message to say, look, if you thought London to Lagos in a small purple car is impossible, and now you've seen me do it, can you go ahead to do that impossible thing else that you have in your life? So that's when I knew it was bigger than that. When I got these testimonials, these messages, meeting people and there's tears in their eyes, and I'm like, are you okay? And they're like, you will never understand what you've done for me. Messages from mom saying, I've gone back to school, just from your story. So it felt like it wasn't that 15 minutes of fame. It's of last week still meeting someone. I'm like, oh, Pelumi, you're that lady, like you're real, So it was really seeing that, wow, people really connected beyond. And I knew this, some people told me they sent up a whole WhatsApp group and it was like talking about London to Lagos. Like I was on the dining table conversation, like, this girl, does she have two heads? Why are you not driving London to Lagos? So it was really bringing people together. There was that net connection within homes and, units of family and everything. So I knew that this was a symbol. This is something that people still get very excited. It's been almost 2 years. April next year will make it 2 years. So 18 months. Wow. So time has gone. It's not that 15. There is leverage. There is consistency. There's that excitement around it. Despite the time that has passed, it still feels like yesterday for me. So yeah, I just knew that it just had something that has really almost changed the brain chemistry of people, that they really connect beyond just, oh, this lady drove from London to Lagos. It wasn't that. It was, I once thought something was impossible, and now I can see that it is possible if I put my mind to it. So yeah, that's what kept the spirit of Lumi going.
I love it. And before like Lumi as a product, you also did a documentary. I think, is it Sierra Leone and Liberia?
Oh yeah. Oh, post Lumi, there's so much things that have happened. Post London to Lagos. I started with so I got Africell. They're like a telecom company. Think your MTN or your Glow. They wanted to build their media portfolio because everyone knows, like you said, attention is that currency. Nobody's watching an ad. They will watch a film documentary and they'll be inspired, and then you can plug in your products. So we did the coverage because that's one of the things I wanted to make sure that people can, explore the African continent. It's such a rich and so ripe for harvest right now. And you see many people very interested in the continent all of a sudden. And during the journey, I remember, showing places like Yamoussoukro, who had the biggest basilica, and this is bigger than the one you see in Rome and the rest. And people were like, that's in Africa. I'm like, yeah, it's in Ivory Coast. It is here. So really showcasing these places. It wasn't just a drive. Like I was like, I'm not breaking any record of how quickly a person can drive from London to Lagos. I want to tell the story of this destination I go through, the people I meet, the culture experience, all of that was documented. So yeah, it was really that combination of, people are interested in the continent, showcasing it. And that's led to documentary. It's called One Weekend. Actually got nominated for an award 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's really, really that kind of like continue to build on that with Peugeot, the car brand itself. I've done continuous collaboration with them. I'm working with tourism boards, speaking on stages. So a lot of opportunities came from London to Lagos. But I felt like this museum, this Lumi product was something that was so obvious. You have your Peppa Pig, you have your Bluey, you have your Dora the Explorer, but there is no Africa-centric hero, kid character that our children can point to and say, I want to be like Lumi. I want to travel. I want to go to Rwanda. And it really, Joe, it really, really picked up when I did a bit of a school tour, and I was asking this kid, I was like, hey, where would you like to go for summer? And it's America, France, Spain, Italy. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. What about Rwanda? What about the Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe or Zambia, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not because they don't want to go to this place. They're just not aware of it. What they're fed is these very European, very westernized things. And that is the places that excite them. Why don't we have our own characters that go explore our culture and really teach the kids and adults, because sometimes we don't even know about each other too as well, let's be real, these destinations.
Yeah, no, I think it's just fascinating. I came to the premiere of your like trip with AfriCell, and I was just like, "This is amazing!" I loved watching it, and like I love the journey. Like I'm a fan. I'm sure if you don't, people who are if you don't realize by now, like I'm a big fan. And then, so sorry, I know we've like gone through a whole journey, and I want to talk about Lumi as the product itself. And ooh,
I get that reaction every time I show her. And she's a cutie.
I have to admit that I actually saw it and I felt it and I touched it.
I have a picture of you. I'm going to post it after this call. You were so squiggly with her. You were like this. I was like, this thing I say I've created for kids. Adults are loving it as well. Like
I loved it.
It's lovable by all.
Before you came, I was showing like that. Oh my God, I also have my little car on my desk, but it's not me, so I came on Lumi. I think like getting the product like made obviously wasn't that straightforward, right? Or was it? I don't know.
No, it's not.
Talk about the process. Like, how do you go from, I have an idea, I want to turn this journey into a product.
Yeah.
For somebody who has no idea around how to build products, please walk me through like how did this thing end up in your hand?
It's a lot of process, a lot of trust in the process as well. But I think once you have a vision of what you want, it's just sourcing and finding who is the person. A lot of trial and error, a lot of lost and wasted money in the process, but it's just part of the journey. So yeah, having an idea, having a prototype. We have a lot of AIs too that does help. I always tell people in this day and age, there is that thing of advantage we have, which is this fact that you can talk to things and describe something in your brain and it can come to life almost visually. So there was a lot of just experimenting and seeing how I want the car to look. Obviously, IP, you don't want it to look too much like the original because then you're infringing on someone's IP, so be mindful of that. So Lumi is a very generic purple car. It's not tied to any brand because we don't want to be, hit with season disease. So it's very, very important for it to look not like the Porsche 107, but a very cute, lovable car that is stemming from that idea. So definitely be mindful of that. That was very important. Getting legal advice. So for example, the British Library has like an IP part of them. So having conversation with the experts, trademarking things. There's a whole lot of things, making the financial clear in terms of opening certain bank accounts, registering the company on company's house, making sure that you're legally protected and having this. And people take you seriously as well when you're not just coming as, hey, when you have that backing and stuff. So yeah, once you have like a picture, a prototype, you start consulting with whoever you want your manufacturers to be, and obviously wherever you produce will affect cost. Obviously, because the toy, you want to keep costs quite low, but the quality was very important. So safety standards, making sure the right tests were done, it looking like what I had in my mind, which is just that immediate reaction of people's like, oh, and that's it. I need that. If I don't get that, I haven't done my job. And that has been it. That's, oh my God, instant falling in love. And the response has been absolutely wild. We had a founder wall, which I think fully filled up, which is the first 50 orders literally cleared out. People are like loving on it. So it comes in different sizes. This is actually a big size 32. We went a bit smaller. So we went for the 23 and went for the keychain one, because another thing is that nostalgia with adults. People really loving that lifestyle. You think of your Labubu and stuff like that went viral a few months ago. So people, it's almost a fashion lifestyle statement and quite trendy right now. So you have like your keychain, you have on your bags and stuff like that. They make really good accessories. So we have that Lumi Petite or Lumi small size, which is 15 centimeters, and then we have 23. And then we have like a book as well that comes with the journey, because we wanted it to be, literacy, educating kids and all of that. So I partnered up with the publishing house for that, where they handle the logistic of illustrating, all of that good stuff. And then other accessory like affirmation cards, stickers and stuff. So it was like a wide range of product, because I really envisioned it as something that was not just a book or plush toy or something. Lumi is a whole universe. There's so big dreams. She's going to be animated or turns to a cartoon next year. So there's big goals and big vision for her. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
I knew there was a lot of work involved, but I didn't know there was this amount of work and thinking behind it. Like when you start talking about IP and cease and desist, I'm like,
okay, you have to be on your toes. I think I posted yesterday, I did 37 meetings in one day. Like it was just, and that was it's been intense. It's been intense of knowing what you want, having the right people on board, still being that visionary leader, making sure that things are done to the high standard. This is kids product, so safety regulation needs to be top standard. You can't cut corners, and just putting the word out there. If people don't know you exist, no matter how good your product is, it doesn't make sense. So marketing has been one of our biggest focus, just to make sure that people are getting us. So having a PR person come on board, getting it into the news. So we're talking to BBC soon, and really, pushing it on different front line. And December being a gifting period just seemed like the perfect time to launch the kind of like minimum viable product, which is the plush toy and the book and stuff. And then, we'll just keep expanding from there. Really, really big stuff coming up.
Yeah, and in terms of just getting ready for this conversation, I did some research.
Okay.
And it turns out that the education and storytelling for children's empowerment is such a big industry. And like the data I found is it's worth, like the children's book market is worth $13 billion.
Yeah.
My question to you, and like I didn't know it was this big.
It's big.
Maybe because I don't have kids just yet. My question to you is like, how do you see Lumi fitting into this space? And what makes it different from other kids brands out there, like, Labubu and all the other educational products that currently exist in the market?
It's huge. As Felix say, it is a big market. And the fact that is just the kids' books, now you're talking then plush toy, then animation, then, just merch, school bags. Like once this has leverage and leg, I think, we just harvesting 0.05 of the market. That makes this $1 billion dollars company. Like there's just so much leverage of where it can get to, and there's no stopping me. I think the same audacity and the same London to Lagos spirit is what I'm putting into this as well. What makes it different is, number one, this is, most characters are made up. Your Peppa Pig stuff was someone just said, oh, I'm going to create this character. With Lumi, there is that originality that I don't see any children's character that they can go and visit in the museum. Like that is legacy, that is historical. This is very raw. I remember when I did London to Lagos, I'm doing my arrival. They were like, where do you want to do the arrival? And I picked the University of Lagos, because the University of Lagos has the university, the secondary, the primary, everything. And there's this picture. As I was driving in with Lumi, these girls literally grabbed my arm and grabbed Lumi. And it's almost like they were trying to make sure it was real. There was this, and I kept saying, yes, it's real. It happened. It's real. It's like they just couldn't fathom it, and they were just trying, like, if I touch it, maybe I would really feel it. And that is the spirit of Lumi. It's not some made up fantasy. Is a true life lived experience of someone, of this journey. And also the diversity, the representation, the fact that right now there's no cartoon that is exploring the cultural need. Lumi will go worldwide, but we'll start with the African continent. I think that's very important for me. So the backing of the original story, the fact that she is out in the museum, and powered by this crazy person that drives from London to Lagos. There's a whole lot of concussion in there to make it a success.
No, I love it. And I think just being part of this conversation, I'm learning a lot about this industry, because I didn't know much about like this space.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to I feel like I have a front seat, as part of what you're building, and I'm just so excited for like what you're building as a product, but also like as you say, like it's a universe that you're building.
Yeah.
I'm conscious that it's just like again, I warned all of you that this was just me and Pelumi having our chat. But if you have a
But we can
question,
open it up as well in case
you
people
can
have
we'll,
questions.
we'll open it up. Like if you have a question, I'm happy to take questions. So if you raise like once we open it for question, raise your hand and I'll give you the mic. Let me have like two more questions, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Sure. Let's
Like doing all this requires money.
it.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I don't know if it was pleasantly, but I was surprised that you've been self-funded so far. But the journey is going to be long, and you are finally and probably reluctantly opening up to investors. Like, what excites you about bringing others on this journey with you? And more importantly, what kind of impact can early supporters have on your journey?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I know support makes or break a brand. I have been bootstrapping a lot of my stuff. London to Lagos was self-funded. But once I sat down and visualized how big this goal is, I think I called my brother up, he's a good friend, and I was like, bro, this ain't self-funded. This needs this needs people that care. They see the big vision. They know the market they're tapping into, so profitability is definitely there and certain. But they need to also be the people that have legacy mindset as well. They want to be the frontiers of something big. They don't want to be at the back burners and say, "Oh, we did see that, so we wish we jumped on it." So they are the early adapters in a way. They would help push this mission forward because everything requires money. It's a product-based thing where it's not just a service or something. It requires that selling and buying and exporting and importing and all of that good stuff combination. So that's what they'll be funding. They'll be funding a lot of the marketing aspects of things. They'll be funding a lot of the product production of the things, the pushing it out in terms of retails and all of these, the big goals. Basically everything that we have depends on the funding. Animation is expensive to make to us. It's like making a film, so literally quotations are in the six figures. So these people will be making sure that we have. First, I had a meeting with YouTube, one of the YouTube workers, and it's like, we'll house it first on YouTube, get those, and then we'll be talking other distributors from your Netflix to your Disney to everything. So it's just that fact that we need those first influx of money to be able to put this product together, get it out, get people excited about it the way they are already of this first product. So yeah, it really is valuable for the people who are really tuned in to the fact that this has very, very strong potential, because it does. Numbers don't lie. Like it's literally selling off.
And I think it's good to see that like you're already selling.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people like believe in this mission. I do. And if I didn't, we wouldn't be even having this conversation. Absolutely. How can people get involved in your fundraise?
Put some money in.
So the first one is how can people support beyond just being an investor in a company?
I think the freest way is what about telling someone about this. Hey, you heard Pelumi, she's doing this. I always tell people network is very powerful. Some people have some people within their network where they can just do a warm intro and be like, hey, Pelumi is doing this. I know you're doing this. I got reached out to by a company, for example, Nubu. I think they translate. So from that, we're talking about translating Lumi books to local languages. So Lumi Drive from London to Lagos will be Yoruba. So that way, you're talking about, educating the kids, but at their level. So if this child doesn't speak Yoruba, doesn't mean they don't know about courage, doesn't mean that they cannot learn about these attributes. So it's really kind of like collaborating with these people. So if you have any organization that you think this overlap of what Lumi and your company can do, it doesn't have to come directly from a pocket. It could come from a bigger organization pocket. So that's the first thing. So warm intros are very, very important. Speaking into your networks, screaming about it on social media, because that's where people are at. And then directly invest them, because then there is that leverage of you buying or investing into the company.
And how can people buy the products? Like, can people buy
Online.
it now?
So right now it's on our website, www.heylumiworld.com. Is link in my bio. I'm sure we can probably push it out to as a post email with a direct link as well. So you get the limited. Oh yeah, thank you, Joe. So you can literally purchase. There's the Courage Box, which has the plush toy, the books, stickers, cards, all of that. So it's perfect for gifting. If there's anyone in your life, young one, friends, family, as I said, it's both adults and kids, clearly. Just the love is just insane. Or you can get the individual items, just depends on what you fancy. So you can get there as a box or individual items.
I love it. I love it so much. So before I wrap it up, if you have a question, please raise your hand and I will call you up to ask a question.
Cool.
Melkia, please go ahead.
That's amazing.
Make sure. I don't know if I can put my camera on. I want to see if I can turn my camera on real quick.
That'll be amazing.
I think
Get to see
yeah,
it.
is it working? Is it working? Oh, there I am. Hello.
Yay!
Hi, everyone. Hi, hi, Joe. I've been just like typing in the chat, just having a whole time. It's so good to meet you both. I feel like I don't even know if I have a question, but I just wanted to say, Pelumi, I love the fact that I ended up seeing your posts when you did, I think you did like the Brave series.
Yes.
And I wish the algorithm like kept doing it because I know you had like a bunch of days of those
I've
days.
been posting. I'm regular, but the algorithm.
Like sign up to an email list or something. But I've been slowly just like gathering people that I have like follow on social media that I get inspired by, and because I also illustrate picture books, and so I'm like seeing what other people are doing, and I just love the fact that you're building this as like an empire in the most loving, caring, non-evil way.
I feel you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like even for the animation, we're looking at things like where can we not over hyperate the kids? Like it's not about getting them addicted. If you turn it off, they are screaming their head off. So really thinking about the welfare of the kids is priority. So thank you for saying that.
And the welfare of the parents too, because I'm a new aunt and I'm like, oh boy. So we're gonna see. But I just wanna just like share support and joy and happiness and pride as well of just I'm proud of you for doing this and for seeing this also in like kid media is such a big industry. It's interesting because like picture books, it's such a huge industry, though I wish authors and illustrators got a little more of that cut, and our editors and our directors.
Ooh, that's a whole conversation, girl.
I digress. The industry be industry. But I'm really excited to see just like how far it goes. I'm actually, I got a question. Okay,
let's do it.
So for folks who have this idea of just like speaking something into existence, what was your first step to building your team of people, of the right people?
Ooh, this is good. Because they're telling me hire fast. I'm like, I'm not like that. Okay. The first thing is what you want. Not if you're a co-founder, but like you need to know what's your limit, what's your downside, so that you can. I think as a creator, it can be quite hard to give a portion of. So basically, a good negotiator. So I'm blessed with like a team of management and stuff like that, based on my other career of travel creation and stuff like that. So they do advice in sense. So good advice in terms of negotiating on your behalf, because very quickly you learn that people want a piece of the cake, and sometimes as creators we want to hold on to that because it's not just a piece of the cake for us, it's our heart, it's our baby. But that's how it works. It's like you give me this piece of cake and I give you this value and we exchange. So really find someone that's a good negotiator and has your best interest in heart in that kind of way. Was very, very important for me. And so you can just bounce idea with, and they've been either down the line experience. I always tell people, follow the person with no roads. It's like follow the person who's done something similar. So jumping on calls and talking to as many people and just finding out where their own pitfall is so that you can avoid it. But until you take that action, you can find yourself in planning paralysis where you're just planning and planning and planning, but you have to set that deadline. And Christmas, literally this launch was my deadline. It was like, it needs to go out by Christmas. Mm-hmm. So whatever we need to backtrack, we need to start working on it months before. So yeah, it's those things. It's just find the right people in terms of just, you might not be able to put a full team off the bat, but you can strategically start with one or two persons, and there's people that have done something similar, and then just start with the knowing that you make a lot of mistakes. I think the fear of messing up stops us a lot, but realizing that it's a learning, it's not failure, it's just learning on the job. I've never done this before, so of course I'm not going to be perfect at it, and just picking up from there and moving on from there. So yeah, I think that's helpful.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Malkia. Does anybody else have a question, any comments? Happy to take you can just raise your hand and I can bring you up. Cool. I am taking it as there are no questions. Just in case you're shy. If you're shy, you can send
you can leave in the comments if you're shy.
Yeah, we're more than happy to accommodate you and share the questions with Pelumi. Pelumi, thank you so much. And for those who are on the call or watching this video, Pelumi is currently fundraising for Lumi, and we are supporting her with that journey. If you signed up, we will share a link for you to learn more about her fundraising process. And then, like if you're watching this video, like, oh, how can I get a link? We'll also add I will, like, wherever you're watching this video, you should be able to see like the stuff that'll come after, how you can reach out to us just in case you missed it. And yeah, we have a product called Raised by Borderless, and essentially it's just a way to make it very easy for founders like Pelumi to raise from their friends and family. And the reason why we built this product is because we believe that first support comes from your friends and family, people who know you, like you, trust you. Yeah. And we wanted to make it very easy. Like Pelumi's hands are so full, and we're in the age where we have technology. We can leverage that technology to support her on that journey.
Yeah.
Pelumi, thank you very much for making time for us. If you follow us online, we'll be sharing these videos. We'll make sure people know about what Pelumi is building. And yeah, it's very exciting time for us, for our people. And I think that it's time for us to build for us. Yeah. And I like how Pelumi is taking charge to build for courageous kids all across the world, regardless of their color. Pelumi, thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. And please, my email, DM, all of that is open. If you have any follow-up question, I'm more than happy. And thank you for supporting this journey. Honestly, it makes or breaks. And I hope you guys can invest and chip in.
All right. Thank you, Pelumi. And I left this Raised by Borderless for people to just know what it is. You can find us online, but again, this is not about us, it's about Pelumi. So you know where to find Pelumi. It's heylumiworld.com. Pelumi is online on Instagram, X, TikTok, LinkedIn, and it's Pelumi Nubi everywhere. And yes, we are very excited for you to join her journey. And we'll be here to hopefully spotlight more founders that you can support.
Thanks, guys.
Pelumi, thank you so much. Lakia, thank you for joining us. Temi, Favor, the entire team, thank you for making this happen. And for folks who have been here the whole session, we had a some glitches, but we managed it very nicely. So yeah, Pelumi, thank you for making the time today, and we will be in touch.
Bye. Bye from me and Lumi. Bye bye.
Thank you all.